How you doing, and welcome to my channel. As you can see today, I'm taking a look at the new Hot Toys Batman, George Clooney Batman from Batman and Robin. Quick look at the box. Really nice piece of artwork on the front of the box with that blue filter over it. I'm pretty sure that is the figure on the front as well. That looks like the figure to me. Really like this cover of the box with the blue filter. It says Batman MMS 786 1/6 scale figure and the Batman and Robin logo at the top corner. On the side, same again, Batman MMS 786 1/6 scale figure, and on the back there we have the Batman and Robin logo and text and the usual warnings and information about Hot Toys. And in my usual fashion, I would slip off this cover and ask you to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And here we are with the back of the box. We have an image of George Clooney as Batman, not the figure. It actually is Batman. It's like some of the promo pictures that we would have gotten back in '97 when this movie was made, when it was advertised. And we have the Batmobile in the back there. I really do hope that Jazz Inc. get around to making that Batmobile. One of my biggest regrets was not getting the Batman Forever Batmobile that he made and the 2022 Batman. But it is what it is. I'd like the car from every Batman, but there we are for the box anyway. So let's do a pan of the figure. So here we are for a quick pan of George Clooney's Batman. And Batman and Robin was considered a sure thing for Warner Brothers, an almost guarantee for return on investment, because no prior live action Batman movie had failed at the box office. Although 1992's Batman Returns didn't do as well as Warner Brothers had expected at the box office, and that is the reason why there was such a change in the style of Batman for Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. Joel Schumacher's Batman's movies basically was because of how poorly Batman Returns was received. There was a lot of parents complaining about it. And anybody who knows the history knows that McDonald's had viewed issue 2 because they had investment in a toy line, and they weren't happy with the outcome of the movie and how graphic some of the scenes were. So most of the cast members from Batman and Robin now say that during filming they knew it was going to be a fail, but it was kind of easy to say in later years in hindsight. They weren't saying it at the time, and in fact they were all quite pleased to be in the movie. And test screenings for the movie were an absolute disaster, and it was sent back for reshoots and scenes were cut. And the person who suffered the most from the cuts, the scenes that were cut, was Alicia Silverstone, with almost nothing left of her character left in the movie. All the scenes that she shot, most of them were left on the cutting room floor. And not just for pacing reasons, but if you look closely, you notice that throughout the movie, she gains a significant amount of weight while filming, and it was noticed in test screenings. And if you look from different scenes, you can see her weight fluctuates throughout the scenes, because, as I said, during shooting, she gained a noticeable amount of weight to the point where you could actually see it on screen. And that was part of why a lot of her scenes were cut. Clooney suffered the least from the backlash in the movie, because in interviews he mocked himself for the movies and even apologised for the movie later. And rumour has it that if anybody approached him in the street and told him that they didn't enjoy the movie and they were disappointed in the movie, apparently he opened up his wallet and offered them a reimbursement for their movie ticket, which wouldn't surprise me with Clooney, to be honest, but it is just a rumour. And due to the failure of this movie, we didn't see a live action Batman for 8 years when we got Batman Begins in 2005. So moving on, let's have a quick look at the accessories that come with him. So here we are for all the accessories and attachments that come with the Hot Toys George Clooney Batman. Starting off with his hands, we have 9 hands in total. Relaxed palms there, or hands for holding the bat credit card, trigger hands, closed fists, gripping hands for the batarangs, and one rather unique hand that I don't think we've ever gotten with a live action Batman before. We did get it with the comic book one, but with the fingers split there for holding accessories, the batarang. And then we have the faceplates, the George Clooney faceplates, and we'll take a look at them on the figure a bit later on. But in my opinion, they are the best Batman, live action Batman faceplates we've ever gotten from Hot Toys. Then for his accessories, we have his tools. We have the bat bomb that he attaches on the rocket, Mr. Freeze's rocket, in the opening sequence to the movie. And then we have the large batarang that he uses at the end of the movie, at the end sequence. Then we have this one here that he uses in the movie, the handheld one. And you can swap out this piece for this piece here. So you can, you know, if you so choose, you have a choice of which attachments to put on it. Then we have the ice cutting device that both himself and Robin use in the movie, and you can take out that laser piece if you want to just use it, you know, in his hand without it being activated, or you can make it look like it's being activated, which is a nice little addition. Then we have the vine cutter that Batman uses when he gets caught up in the vines of Poison Ivy in Poison Ivy's lair towards the end of the movie. No moving parts, it doesn't rotate, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. Then we have two of his more smaller batarangs, the more common batarangs. Then we have his favourite accessory of them all, which is the Bat credit card. And this is exactly how I'll be posing, I think, holding that Bat credit card. It's an iconic scene. So there we have it for the accessories. Next up we have his base. Probably one of the oldest bases that Hot Toys use. Still has the lights in it that we used to get that were battery operated, and over time they got rid of the battery compartment. They even still move. I don't know why they haven't changed the mold at this point and just gotten rid of those lights, because they're non-functioning at this stage. Batman and Robin's symbol or logo on it, on the base of it there, with a nice little relief on it there. It's not flat, it comes up, there's a relief on it there. It's nicely done. And the red and black kind of Batman and Robin themed colours for the movie. And I believe Robin's base is exactly the same. And then we have a plaque with Batman written on it in the Batman and Robin text. Does the job. Like I said, Robin's one is identical, so they'll sit well beside each other. So here we are for the George Clooney Batman, standing pretty much straight up as he comes out of the box. And starting off from bottom to top in my usual fashion, we have his boots. One whole boot, no split boot design on them. There's little to no ankle articulation on them there. They just bounce back to where they were originally wore, even though there is a joint in there. But I do like the lack of a split boot. I'm not a fan of the split boots, so, you know, it's a nice compromise. Black symbol on the front of them there, as it should be. A little bit of a high gloss piece on the toe section there, which I hadn't noticed before, I didn't pick up on in the movie. And then moving up to his rubber suit. This is the typical Hot Toys rubber. It's thinner than previous ones. I thought, looking at it in the promo pictures, it was the same rubber as the Val Kilmer Batman, but it seems a little bit thinner and not as bulky as the Val Kilmer Batman. All the detail of the muscles running through it, which really look on point and look the part. A ratcheted upper leg hip flexor. Very tight joints on the knees as well. There's a nice bit of articulation on them there. The rubber suit isn't really restricting, although it does warp a little bit. It's not really restricting. Then we have his black belt. A first for Batman to not have a yellow belt, as far as I can remember. I don't think there actually has been a Batman with an all black suit. Now, I say all black suit, but there is a little hint of a metallic cool blue off it. Now, it's not as blue as it was in the screen used costume. If you look at the screen used costume, it was actually an ice metallic blue. It wasn't black, but on screen it looks black. So I'd rather on screen accuracy than off screen accuracy, if that makes sense. But it was actually a dark navy kind of hint off the suit in reality. All the detail of the muscles, the abs and the obliques are put in place there, just like it was in the movie. The suit is pretty accurate. It's compared to other Hot Toys Batman figures, this is really accurate. You can see he has a really unique blade on the gauntlet, not like any Batman we've seen before where it's usually 3 of them. It's actually kind of the 3 put in 1 for this Batman, and it's a little bit jagged. A nice design, not too sharp, not too pointy, not a major issue. Nice little bit of creasing in the gauntlets there as well. Looks the part, nicely done. Not overdone, nicely done. And the musculature in the shoulders and that is all done pretty well as well. And then we have the big black bat emblem on the front of the suit there, which is attached to the cowl. So if you turn the head, unfortunately, the bat symbol moves as well. Unfortunately, now posing with the cape back like so is the only way to pose this guy. Because if you want to pose him with the cape forward like this, you get an incredibly large gap between the cowl and the shoulders. It's very unsightly because of the lack of traps. You'd almost have to kind of put something in there if you want to pose them like that. You'd want to put something in there onto the traps to bulk it up a little bit to meet the cowl if you wanted to pose them like this. So realistically, the only way to really pose them is with the cape back. It's been a while since I've seen the movie. I think that's generally how he is now, is with the cape behind his shoulders at his back. I don't think he pulls it forward at any point, but it is what it is. And speaking of the cape, we have a wired cape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wires running through it for articulation. Now, I'm not the greatest fan of wired capes, especially on Batman figures, especially rubber suit Batman figures. As most of you know, they're not the most posable, and they generally only stay in museum poses. So drape capes are the best way to go with them. Although this is one of the better wired capes, if not the best wired cape I've ever seen on a Batman, it can be futzed and made to look like almost like a drape cape if you spend a bit of time futzing it. It is one of the better quality wired capes. As you can see there, it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad as a drape. But I do hope that somebody comes out with a custom drape cape for him, as most of my Batmans are in museum poses, and I use drape capes on pretty much all of them. But as I said, this one doesn't actually look too bad at all. It is definitely serviceable. It's definitely usable. So not a huge deal to have the wired cape. So let's get in close on this head sculpt, and we'll have a look at the head sculpt and the face plates. So here we are for the cowl, and I have to say, wow, this is, in my opinion, the most accurate Batman we've ever gotten from Hot Toys. There is pretty much no need, just pulling them back there for a second, there is pretty much no need for any aftermarket parts for this Batman, which I can't say for any other Batman figure that I can think of off the top of my head. Any other Batman figures that I have, I've had to get custom cowls, custom capes, custom boots even, because I'm not a fan of the split boot design. But this Batman here, I don't think I actually need any aftermarket parts for, which is a first for a Hot Toys Batman. Looking at the sculpt and the cowl, it is pretty spot on for George Clooney's Batman. I've no complaints, I've no issues. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen the movie, but I'm pretty sure just looking at it there, because I've looked at photographs recently, that this is pretty spot on. As for the mouth plate, just this one mouth plate here, the relaxed or the closed mouth, one of the most accurate mouth plates we've ever gotten from Hot Toys for a Batman figure. Probably the most accurate Batman face plates we've ever gotten. It looks like Clooney. Look at the forward brow on that mask. It looks really nice. It looks really well done. And the eyepiece is so open compared to previous Batmans. It's so large there that you can see quite a lot of the eye in there. You can see the eyelids, you can see the crease in the eye, you can see the eye colour, and even the slight little bag that he has under his eye that you can see. You know, it's really well done, and because the eyepiece is so open, you can see a lot of the detail in there. Even though there is the black eye makeup on around it, it's still quite well detailed in there. and quite impressive. I love any angle, all the angles on the cowl look great. And I love even the way the faceplate fits in. It's got this gap around it there where it actually looks like there's a face in there. It doesn't look like a faceplate is over that. The gap in it there, all around it, just this little lip where the faceplate sits in, and just makes it look as though there is actually a full sculpt inside that cowl. It looks incredible. But let's get the 3 head sculpts, or the three faceplates up beside each other, and have a look at all 3 of them. And here we are for the 3 faceplates all together. And as I said, probably the most accurate faceplates we've ever gotten from Hot Toys. They all look like Clooney. Granted, the last one there with the mouth open is a little bit goofy. Not as goofy as some of the previous ones. Some of those duck face Michael Keaton ones are pretty bad. So, you know, as far in comparison to them, it's pretty decent. But the first 2, the closed mouth and the kind of slightly open one there in the middle, they are Clooney all over. Even the last one still is Clooney all over. I've 0 complaints. I really love that first one, the one with the full closed mouth. It just screams Clooney, the lower face, and it is absolutely fantastic. As I said, no need for any Jackson Zoo faceplates for this guy. No need for any aftermarket cowls or capes. It is absolutely spot on. And it's crazy that the least liked Batman is the most accurate Batman that we've gotten from Hot Toys. I think that's quite ironic. But there we have it anyway for the George Clooney Batman from Batman and Robin. I do have Robin inbound. I will be doing a review on him pretty soon, so keep your eye out for that review for the Robin coming in soon. And I have Mr. Freeze on order as well. When he eventually gets released, I'll be reviewing him. So if you did like the video and you made it this far, thank you very much. Please don't hesitate to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. And I will leave it at that. Thanks very much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.